A lot of role-playing games have been called the D&D killer, but only one game has actually crushed D&D for nearly 4 decades. And now, the actual D&D killer is coming to America.
Here it comes.
Before we dive into the story behind the TTRPG that has completely dominated D&D, why not take a second to hit those like and subscribe buttons? And then, let's talk some Sword World. D&D is the world's biggest TTRPG, and even with a rough several years recently eating away at their market share, it's still not really close, except in one of the biggest, most prosperous countries on Earth, where D&D has been getting its ass kicked for over 3 decades. D&D has been trying to make major inroads in Japan since the 80s, but from 1989 on, a Japanese-made fantasy TTRPG called Sword World has pushed them to the bottom of the sales charts, and has been stepping on their neck for the past 36 years. All those fantasy anime you assume are inspired by D&D, including this huge wave of recent isekai anime, even hit video games like Final Fantasy, they all take their cues not from D&D, but from Sword World. And it's not like Wizards of the Coast and D&D aren't still trying to crack that Japanese market. They've been releasing anime-inspired commercials and trailers to try and drive up interest for years, and now they've just released a brand new Japanese-themed adventure called The Oni's Right Hand, aimed at finally getting Japan and its 124 million citizens interested in the D&D brand. But nothing they have done has been able to chip away at the complete dominance of Sword World, and now that game is finally making its way to America. Sword World 2.5, the most recent iteration of Japan's top-selling TTRPG for, well, longer than most of you watching this video have been alive, is getting its first ever English translation and will be headed to Kickstarter in early 2026, courtesy of Mugen Gaming. And in fact, a free 60-page adventure with the basic rules is available now on Mugen Gaming's English language website. Sword World uses a 2d6 base system instead of a single d20, but will still feel somewhat familiar to most TTRPG fans, and while the combat is a bit more streamlined and cinematic, overall it will definitely land on the crunchier side of TTRPGs with a lot of ways for your skills and abilities to add modifiers to every roll you make. It also encourages multi-classing in a huge way that is almost like Final Fantasy's job system, allowing you to create some very customized characters specified to your exact needs and wants. It takes some inspiration from the very early editions of D&D as well, which won't come as a shock when you find out that it was originally made by a small D&D group in Japan who turned their campaign into the classic Record of Lodoss War anime. But when they went to D&D's owner at the time, TSR, in 1989 to try and create an official Record of Lodoss War setting for D&D, they were denied, and instead created Sword World, which immediately began kicking the absolute hell out of D&D in sales. So just how badly has Sword World dominated D&D? According to Hobby Japan, the group who translated the D&D books for the Japanese market until Wizards took control of all localization in 2022, the Player's Handbook, which is the best-selling book for every edition of D&D, sold 8,000 copies of the 3rd edition version, 5,000 copies of the 4th edition version, and just 9,000 copies for all of 5th edition. And those are numbers for all of Japan. And now Sword World, whose numbers are exponentially bigger than that, is looking to bring that domination to Kickstarter here in America, where D&D is already struggling against an onslaught of huge name competition like Daggerheart, the new Cosmere RPG, and Draw Steel. So if you are curious to play the one TTRPG that can actually legitimately claim the title of D&D killer, check out the basic rules on Mugen Gaming's website, and make sure you watch out for that Kickstarter to hit early in 2026. So what do you think? Are you interested in trying out the TTRPG that actually killed D&D in Japan? Let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.